Tinubu was completely taken aback earlier today. My people, if you are seeing the look on his face, you know this man never expected what was coming his way. He was ridiculed in a way that left everyone buzzing. Imagine the leader of the nation, the man at the helm of affairs, suddenly finding himself at the center of a public spectacle. But let me give you all these juicy details in just a moment. And before that, welcome back to LAJUPOG TV show. We are thrilled to have you here. And if this is your first time watching us, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and share this video with all your friends on social media. And don't you dare forget to click on the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we drop our next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Now let's get back to the drama.
Welcome to LAJUPOG TV show.
The whole of crime scene
is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happiness in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
All right, here is the gist. While the whole nation has been crying out for a chance in our economic situation, it seems like the Nigerian government has been turning a deaf ear. In fact, things have been getting worse every single day. Can you believe it? Just a short while ago, we were all complaining about petrol being at the rate of 240 naira per litre, and now it has skyrocketed a staggering point of 1,200 naira per litre, and this happening in just under 1.5 years. It's like a nightmare that keeps getting darker with every passing day. As if the relentless increase in fuel prices wasn't enough, the naira has been falling like there's no bottom in sight. Every single commodity in the economy has seen its price shoot through the roof. There's no job, no food, no shelter, and let's not even talk about the quality of services, which has taken a nosedive. All of this is happening right before our eyes, and it feels like we are powerless to do anything about it. And let me tell you, people are talking. Everyone is pointing fingers, whispering behind closed doors, wondering how we've got here. How did we go from bad to worse in such a short time? And what's even more alarming is that there doesn't seem to be any end in sight. The ordinary Nigerian is bearing the brunt of it all. Families are struggling to put food on the table, businesses are closing down, and the youth, our poor youth, are losing hope. They say it's the darkest before dawn. But when will dawn come? The streets are filled with cries of frustration and anger, and the people are beginning to lose faith in the government's ability to turn things around. But that's not all. There's more to the tail spill. The rumor mill is buzzing with talk of how certain individuals in power are benefiting from this chaos. Can you imagine? While the masses are suffering, a select few are allegedly lining their pocket, living in luxury, and turning a blind eye to the plight of the common man. It's scandalous, my people. And the more you dig, the more debt you find. Some says it's a calculated move to keep the masses under control, to keep all distracted while they play their games behind the scene. And speaking of distraction, have you noticed how there's always some new controversy popping up just when the heat is on? Whether it's new policy announcement, a political scandal, or a celebrity drama, something always seems to come up to divert our attention from the real issues at hand. But with no food, we see through the smoke and mirrors, and we know that the real problem lies in the mismanagement of our economy and the negligence of the Nigerian people. In this episode, my people, I've got some special things for you. I prepared a video where Falana, a well-known human rights activist, really gave each to President Tinubu and a few governors. He didn't hold back at all, lecturing them on the maladministration that has been dragging the country and its economic down. Falana went deep, talking about how fortunate these leaders are to be in those powers positions most of them don't even deserve. He even went as far as saying that if the poor masses had the opportunity to fill those seats, things might not have been different, maybe even better. But you know what, my people, I don't want to bore you with my analysis. I know you are eager to see it yourself. So let's not waste any more time. Let's dive straight into the video. Sit back, relax, and let's watch Falana gives this piece of his mind. We'll be right back.
That we are spending 2 billion naira to organize a conference. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, by Wednesday or thereabout, what have we gained? Now, if I were the NBA president, I would just say 1 year, can we send 250,000 naira to each of the 128 branches for you to go and do pro bono work? Take people in detention out of detention. Challenge illegal arrests and the rest of them. At the end of the day, Nigerians will be praying for us. Now, come to the topic, sir. I think our leaders are lucky, including Your Excellency, sir. You know why? you know about security. We don't know what you are talking about when you are talking of social contract. In 2011, a lady came to me crying. What happened, madam? Her husband, a 28-year-old man who had just acquired his PhD in geophysics, was burned to death in his house during the riots in Kaduna. So, madam, is that why you are crying? Oh, no problem. Went to the ECOWAS court. My lords, the government is supposed to take care of the security of the husband. The husband has been killed. Now it's the responsibility of the state. The government lawyer said, but we didn't contribute. The man was killed by rioters. And the court said, who is supposed to deal with the rioters? You are supposed to protect the life of everybody. And therefore, thou shalt pay 50 million naira to the lady. Now, yes, to spade. Now, the point I'm making, sir, and I'm going to work with your Attorney General here. Accidents happen on our roads, and people become beggars. No. You know, in America, what we call ambulance chasing, it's not charge and bail. Once there is accident in America, in fact, there was a Nigerian, her name is Shola. A car slightly hit her in New York, and the brother who lives in America, this guy was visiting. Shola Shubu, Shubu Toba, Shubu Adolowo, Shubu. You know why? If the girl had fallen down, an ambulance will have come. And when the ambulance is going to the hospital, lawyers are talking to her if she's still alive. If you go to court, we're going to kill $1 million. My own will be 250,000 naira. That's what they call ambulance chasing. And we must start here, sir. I've just signed an agreement with Federal Road Safety Corps. Please, I want to have the reports of all accidents in our country. Why are vehicles insured? You are supposed to pay to the victims of accident. On state security, I think we have left. I think the argument is already settled. Maybe apart from the IG, nobody today is supposed to stay police. No serious Nigerian. As the Honorable Attorney General of Rivers has just said, we now know the selfish consideration of the police. That if we have a state police today, all the money being given to us now will be gone. But sir, and I think the governors, please, you must help us. You must help us. You have Federal Road Safety, they carry guns. NDLA, EFFC, they bear arms. Prisons, all of them bear arms. And I have challenged the federal government. Yes, you are right. Section 214 says there shall be only one Nigerian police force. What of these other forces that now carry guns? In fact, unfortunately, Aketi's last brief to me, I was pleading for consideration. Please, let your secretary to government put it in writing. I was arguing, and I said, if although they won't give me a license, but if my chairman applies to the police, to the authority, I want a gun to protect me and my family. They will give you. They won't give me saying that I want to shoot somebody in Abuja. Now, and I argued, Aketi, if big people, rich people are giving guns to protect their families, what should stop you from acquiring 5,000 licenses to protect 5 million people? It's FME or Olusoyon. There's a sense in that. Can we go to court? Unfortunately, the letter was supposed to come before it took kill. The point I'm making, sir, is discriminatory to protect a few people and not to protect all of us. Secondly, sir, our governors, including your good self, sir, have collectively, I think unconsciously, handed over the police powers of Nigeria to the president. And I'll tell you how. Section 216 says, if you are going to remove or appoint an IG, the president shall consult the Nigerian Police Council. Who are the members of the Nigerian Police Council? The president only as the chairman. IG, chairman Police Council. and the 36 state governors. So out of 39 of them, 36 are chief executives of the state. What are the functions of the Nigerian Police Council? Sir, Schedule 7, to administer, organize, and supervise the Nigerian police force. But what have you done since 1999, sir? Is to allow the president alone to exercise police powers in our country. So we must now go, my brother, beyond chapter 2. Section 318 defines the government of Nigeria. To me, the federal government, the state government, and even local government. So if the federal government can have federal police or federal government police, nothing should stop a state government and even local government to have their own police. Final one, sir. We, the elite, we are very selfish. In each of your estate, you have security. Have you? Some of the people have guns. So if there is a battle in the night, they bring out their guns. We are only subjecting our people to torture, to kidnapping, and other offenses. So if we want to organize this yes, sir, there are fears. And I must confess here, there are fears. There are some of your colleagues, sir, who are not very okay. Because nobody in Ondo State, I haven't had this report, that either under your predecessor or your good self, sir, that the Amotekun has been used for political objectives. No. It's about security. And if you can do it in Ondo State, if it can work, I believe it can work all over the country. Many of us don't, you don't know what security is in Nigeria. And that's why you hear these problems in the north. My colleague from Jigawa, from Dutse to Gumel, the distance is about 2.5 hours. And all the police personnel in Jigawa are not up to 5,000. So it is difficult to police some of these states. And that is why you have regular kidnapping. My brother, you know I'm talking of Jigawa. My regards to your governor. I was detained in Mawadashi prison, very close to Gumel in 1996. For 10 months, Abacha took me away for 10 months and 1 year. Finally, Mr. Chairman, you are right about social contract. But let's leave this conference for the NBA to sit down with the governors forum and see how we can actualize this state police idea. Thank you very much.
Welcome back, my people. As you can see, the heat just keep coming. As if Femi Falana's lecture wasn't enough, now we've got local government chairman Njoku stepping into the ring. This man did not hold back at all. Njoku dragged the politicians through the mud, labeling them as the true culprit behind the corrupt system in Nigeria. He went in hard, emphasizing on how these politicians start their dirty deed right from the party level, manipulating the system to take their advantage long before they even get into office. And that's not all. He also exposed how they've managed to enslave the third tier of government, leaving our local government council powerless and ineffective. But my people, why take my word for it when you can see it all yourself? Let's watch Njoku spill the tea and break it all down. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. We'll be back shortly, so don't go anywhere.
You've seen it all, you've done it all. Maybe the only thing you've not contested for is president. But let's just walk us through the politics of Nigeria, or Nigerian politics. What, in your assessment, what's it like since you came here?
It's a really, really big question. But I'll start by, you called me a quintessential politician, and I've seen it, not done it all. And I want to explain a bit on that aspect. Is that I started my politics in Anambra State. I'm from Imo State, but I started my politics in Anambra State in NRC. At that point in time in Anambra State, I'm sure everybody knows that SDP were the governors from SDP. And then we had a council chairman in Onitsha North who was a Chuksana. He's dead now. And to show you how powerful councils were, NRC in Anambra State really depended, and all the powers were coming out of the council then, up to the extent that I hosted Tufa. He was one I stayed, I provided the house he stayed in 1993 as a very young politician. in my late 20s or 29, and it was a wonderful period. After that, I contested. I became the first vice national chairman of APGA in 2002. Before then, I was the state publicity secretary for NCP and under Donna Tibet in Anambra State. After that, I was also in PDP. When PDP was formed, there were different people who were, what did they call it then in PDP? We were called, there was a name we had in PDP then. And from there, I ran, and I was a federal house candidate for APGA in 2002. I ran under P2B for federal house. We know how that ended. We know what happened, all the rigging that were rigged out. I also ran for national chairman of APGA 2006. I ran for national chairman of APGA in 2015. And I also ran locally in 2018-19. That brought me in here today as a national chairman. So if you say that's a quintessential politician, well, then maybe it's a quintessential politician.
But look at it this way. You went from state politics under SDP, or more like NRC, NRC, state politics, national politics. APGA, state politics. PDP, national politics. State politics.
NCPN, state politics.
Back to APGA, state and national politics. So one could say that you've more or less like gone round.
Particularly in the party.
Particularly in the party.
As a party man.
Yes, you've gone round as a party man. Yeah, you had a short stint, but trying to find your
to the National Assembly.
Okay, but let's look at this. And I asked you a question, having called you what I called. I said, how would you describe Nigeria's politics? Is it a politics of the people or a politics for the politicians?
I feel that I feel as if I'm the one that gave you that question, but I didn't. The school of thought I come from is the politics of the grassroots. And if you can appreciate it, as I've said, I've come in from the local government, state, played more of that, played it in the party. And politics is a politics of Nigeria should be more at the local level. But when we're in Abuja here, it seems as if politics is a national thing. It's not. Most people, before the local government elections were removed and local government chairmen were removed, literally. When I use the word removed, it's not a good word. But when governors hijacked, because they really did, they hijacked the power of the third tier of government. Before that was done, politics was so sweet at the local level. Many people didn't come to Abuja. Hardly anyone came to the state. Most people stayed at the local level. I had three friends, one called Okearo from Abatete in Anambra, Chuksana and myself. We physically brought the whole hierarchy of NRC into Anambra State, into Onitsha, because we were playing local politics. We were playing politics at the local level. And we played it effectively at that age that brought the presidential candidate to spend 2 nights in my house in Onitsha as a local politician. But those things have been removed now from politics. It's no longer local. What politics is now is that if you can't play it here in Abuja, you're not playing politics, which is very, very sad.
So this leads me to our conversation. Let's get into this conversation. Right?
Yeah.
The matter of local government, you said politics is local.
Very local.
So maybe the current administration is thinking in that direction when they went after local government autonomy up to the Supreme Court. Do you think that judgment of the Supreme Court, it's been commended, it's been appreciated, but is it what is needed to get politics back to the local?
To galvanize the whole system. Governance and politics lost direction in Nigeria when governors took up too much power in politics. I give you an example. APGA, every court in Nigeria has literally said I'm national chairman. From Obiano to Soludo, They've refused. And if I was not very committed in what I'm doing, they would have swept me under the carpet and thrown me into River Niger. Because they are governors. And it shouldn't be like that. You should allow the people to exercise their own franchise, to be able to do. Can you ever believe, or have you ever heard before that a National Assembly will now pass a law saying that the National Assembly are the ones to approve who will contest local government elections? Odd. It's the power of governors who have tried to masculate the local politics. And thank God that I was about to say federal government, but let's say the Supreme Court. But federal governments have also put their weight slightly towards that to make sure that that third tier of government are allowed to fly and be free.
But is that what is needed? Seeing that even at this point in time,
yes, that's what's
the states, the state governors still have to inaugurate the state electoral commissions that will determine who wins local government elections, or monitor and conduct the local government elections. Would politics really be local, or would it be based on the influence of the state chief executive?
It will still be the influence of the state chief executive. Well,
so how do we get the politics back to the
people? You see, I think there are processes at play at the moment to see whether we can now, it's a stage by stage thing. If you look at the APOCA issue, we've been in this court process for about 5 years, and I always told everybody, relax, it's a process. Once you're able to stay within the process and you don't go collecting money from those people who want to influence those things, it works out properly. It will always come out right. People say Supreme Court are corrupt, Court of Appeal, they're not corrupt really like that. It's we politicians who are corrupting the system. We are corrupting the system, and we always look for someone else to say they are corrupt, but we corrupt the system as politicians. Very sad.
So is there no way around this? When you say you politicians are the ones corrupting the system,
I started by telling you that
can the system cleanse itself?
The system will eventually. So we've started a process whereby we're going back to the autonomy of local governments. I told you a story in 1993 how we as local government players, right words. We had the chairman in the local government. The governor was an SDP governor. We were not in SDP. So NRC hierarchy will come towards the government that they had in the state. And the biggest local government there was Onitsha North, who had some revenue. So we as players in the local government were big boys, as per se. Can you imagine a big boy in a local government now, even the states? No, it's not. But we were in the local government to attract the leadership and to Falana stayed for 2 days in my place. It's a known thing. And you see that if we can gradually retrace our footsteps and give autonomy, because those are our founding fathers or those who brought in that there should be 3 tiers of government, national, state and local. We're not stupid. So to be able now for the governors to now hold on and say we'll conduct the election, we'll decide. And look at what happened in Anambra. The very minute the governor felt that things had moved in another direction, he stands up to say, well, the party will no longer bring, I will decide, House of Assembly decide. And the House of Assembly need to look at themselves and ask themselves, are you really there to rubber stamp everything? Or are you there with integrity to say to the governor, no, my brother, we can't do such a stupid thing.
But you see, that takes it again back to the Constitution. 3 tiers of government, 3 arms of government. Yeah. There are those who argue that the separation between the 3 arms of government is lost in Nigeria's democracy as we speak.
Why?
Because you just said it here. The state assembly is now having to determine. The governor said, I will decide, and the state assembly will decide. That's what you said. Yeah. So what happens to the independence of the legislature, the judiciary, and the executive? It looks as if it's gone.
You are now preaching my word. I totally believe that internal democracy in political parties are so useful. People like me who stand up and say, you go to your ward, you go to your local government, you win to become a House of Assembly member, we'll screen you and we'll find out someone who is eligible to become a true legislator. But the governor would not want that if he is a governor who is imperial, who wants to be king of all, who wants to be the only man on the block. If he's a governor who wants things to be done well, bring out the House of Assembly as however you want to do it. Let there be a check on me. I'd rather you check me and I do the right thing than me bringing people who I could impose myself on. And once the party is strong enough to stand to a governor and say, my brother, I no agree this one, then you start having good people in the House of Assembly, good people in the National Assembly, good senators.
So are you implying that the problem here is the party itself?
It's the weakness of the party. And why most governors, the governors in Ghana have been fighting me, because I'm naturally strong. I'll stand up to what I believe. If you're saying something that is not quite right, I'll say, oh, God, I no agree. So that's that fight you've seen for 5 years. And they're fighting it with their life. They say they've given bribe to Supreme Court now. They've gotten the attorney general. There's all this is to stop me, because I'll say what you're doing is wrong. You can't go and get the House of Assembly to vote for it to say that they are the ones to bring out candidates from the party. The right is right and wrong is wrong. And as long as you want to do things wrong, we will always have that clash.
Is this the reason why democracy looks as if it's not working in Nigeria?
That's the reason why.
Because the parties
are faulty. Once the party starts becoming straight, even one becomes straight, good people will come in there and start contesting, the others have to change. I'll give you an example. In Anambra State, when Ngige came in, we were fighting with him in APGA, and Ngige came in as governor. Ngige started building roads. Immediately Peter came in, he got roads done. There were no roads in the southeast. As soon as the governor of Enugu State came, he started doing roads. And roads became, you had to, as a governor, roads must be good. And once things are done well in one party, if APGA comes up now and stands straight, PDP has got to stand straight, or else they will lose out. APC has got to stand straight. But those powers, like a governor, will want to be that he's in charge, so that he will say, if this man can do it in PDP, why can't I do it in APGA? But you can't do it in APGA because I'm the national chairman. We must do things right.
Is there a constitution that holds?
Yes, we have a very solid constitution.
So is it wrong then, or is it that then these people you keep mentioning are not reading or do not know the constitution?
In Nigeria, naturally, it is said, who pays the piper, who pays the detects the tone. And normally, Nigerians have been bent. Their arms are so bent that hunger is everywhere. That once you're the one that's bringing out those change, people are bowing to you. But there are some people, like I was brought up in England. I went to a very good boarding school. I thank my father for that, for sending me to a sound boarding school. I have a sound family background. I have a successful family, so I'm not poor. So I'm able to stand up and say, no, I don't agree. But if my next meal dependent, I might be able to say, God, let me agree small so that my children go chop.
The role of the membership of the party.
Yep.
How does the party bring in members?
A wonderful question. It is open. The membership of, like we say, APGA is not, people say it's an Igbo party. It's not. It's a national party. But the Southeasterners have a big affection, love. What's the word for APGA? If you go into the market, you see a woman will say, "Nkabunkai, this are own." You know, they love the party. The membership is open to anyone, and most people in Igbo land will tell you that this is just the way CPC was so, Buhari was so popular with CPC, or Tinubu was so popular with AD, then ACN. It's the same way Igbos are they naturally love their party. With all the scrambles, people say the Southeasterners have gone to iPod or they went. No, they didn't. They're just looking for something to hold on to as that regional base. As soon as you have a political party that is sound, that they can believe in, they will come there to see whether they can use that to engage the rest of the people. Because I believe that for you to get power, you must engage the other regions. You must engage the Hausa people. You must engage the Yoruba people. You must engage everyone. You can't just go up and say, it's my turn, I want power, I have to. No. You must talk with them, because there's total distrust in this country. If you are from the north, you have some distrust for the south. If you are a Muslim or you're a Christian, you have, and we're all the same people. But as long as we are now able to communicate, because within our party, these new executives in APGA are all, the executives are from everywhere. We have the whole exec from every state. We're able to now talk with each other and say, listen, all we want is peace. All we want is to acquire power. And to acquire power, we need to engage other people. And that's, you will see in the next 6 months to 9 months how much traction APOCA has created for itself.
But again, I'll take you back to the question of membership.
Okay.
You said membership is open to all.
It's open to all.
Do they pay dues? Is there
Yeah,
membership?
there are little stipends. So, like 100 naira or something for your card when you get your card.
I do know that growing up, my mother was in NPN.
Okay.
And they were paying dues. They had membership cards. And that was how the parties
were able to fund their movement.
How do you fund the party?
From the
membership.
From the membership dues.
So why is it then that it appears as though a few people have more power? Is it that you're no longer funding, the political parties in Nigeria are no longer funding themselves from the dues, and they are looking for extras from certain individuals who now feel like they have a right to lead?
I love your question so much, and I looked at you twice when you went to that question, and the reason why I know you are quite in, because your mother actually, you say so you are quite aware of. You see, Nigeria has become a place whereby things are no longer the way they were. When your mom was paying her dues, and those dues were okay, things have gone haywire. People now drink champagnes that are worth 1 million naira. People now drive cars that are 500 million and all, and in a society when we are slightly inadequate, we use certain things to make ourselves, lift ourselves up. If we're less educated or less whatever, we need to use things to prop ourselves up to look better. So most people in Nigeria are using different things to prop themselves up. And those monies are things we're not paying for because there are no jobs. Business, there are hardly any, most jobs, things are so expensive. So the governor who is now getting allocations, if he's not a true progressive, I'm choosing my words,
Democrat,
or you know what I mean, then he will use those monies in a very negative way. That if you don't play my turn, these losses will not come to you.
You see, I asked this question saying that by our constitution, the governor, the senator, the House of Representatives, the president is born on the platform of a party.
Exactly.
In fact, the constitution says it is the party that is elected. The person is just representing the party.
Yeah.
But if the party has no values, can the party hold that individual that is representing
hold him to accountable? That's what we're trying to do in Africa. I'll give you an example. Like in ANC in South Africa, you know the sitting president was removed by the party and brought in another person to represent them because he's standing on the platform of the party. No election, no court. They just say no, Becky, and this Zuma came in. Parties must have that power to be able to hold these people accountable. The reverse is the same now, and that's the confusion you see everywhere. The confusion in Nigeria is because the internal democracies of the party are no longer there to checkmate that thing you said you would do in your manifesto. You wake up, you say you're going to do this, you say you're going to do, as soon as you get it, you now start buying the people in the party, rather than doing those things that the people voted for you.
But I thought the party manifesto, the manifesto should come from the party.
It should come from the party, but when you're running an election as a governor, you are the one that comes out to tell us what you really want to do as a governor. Mm-hmm. And then if it's in line with our manifesto as a party, then we'll say, wow, the party can now sponsor you to go to the general public. But as soon as these people get down there, it changes. That the party should now be the ones, you now become the leader of the party, telling the party what to do, because you are giving them money. And you bring money and you check them into Hilton, you do all the things you want to do. And because most people I have my business, most people, I don't want to go into that, but we all need, money is needed too much in Nigeria. But I don't know what we need them for so many things. So you find that the governors now become too powerful. But the parties must be strong. Once a party is strong, a governor, you can now hold the governor accountable and say, Oga, those things you told us when you came to power, you're not doing them. And they can't suddenly turn and say, find this man 20 million, let him go. No, what am I doing with your 20 million? What I came to say is that this is not...
But, okay, the strength of the parties. Who determines the strength of the party?
The party.
The party itself.
The party should.
And its members.
And its members. And the strength of... Because if you as a national chairman are not doing your job, they will vote you out the next time.
Okay.
Or they will hold you accountable. And then the party now should be able to stand and hold accountable the elected officers that they have sponsored. We sponsors, I'm the national chairman of the party. If we sponsor you for the governor of your state, we have sponsored you. You are responsible to us to live to that thing we told.
When Newsnight returns, we ask Chief Njoku, what's the way forward? Do we say there is no way around all of this? Alright, Chief Njoku, thank you again for speaking with us on Newsnight. Our conversation so far has been very interesting. You've narrowed it down, or you spent the bulk of time looking at Anambra State as an example. And maybe because you played your local politics there. And again, but I'll take you back to something we mentioned earlier, and I want us to look at what local government administration should look like. Because my friend Aya will tell you that the reason why the nation is the way it is because the local government is a mess. Now the Supreme Court's given us local government autonomy. There are those who are kicking that it will not work because some local governments don't have internet-generated revenue. They may not be able to pay certain bills. So how is it that it worked then? So much so that it's in the constitution.
As you can see, my people, the level of sovereignty in this country is unimaginable, and it's all because of the greed and selfishness of our so-called leaders. Can you believe that while ordinary Nigerians are struggling just to survive, these politicians are living in the lap of luxury? It's like they don't have a single care in the world about the misery they're putting us through. Just look at what's happening. We are dealing with skyrocketing fuel of 1,200 naira per liter as a price. Can you imagine? This is the same country where many can't even afford a decent meal. Yet our leaders are cruising around and their flashy convoys burning fuel like it's water. These people are living in a mansion in the most expensive part of the town, fleets of cars and private jets at their disposal, while the rest of us are out there wondering where our next meal will come from. They are throwing lavish party, dining on gourmet meals, and sending their children abroad for the best education money can buy, while we are left to fend for ourselves in a crumbling system. And Falana said it best. These leaders are fortunate to be where they are, but they don't deserve it. If the tables were turned, if the ordinary Nigerians had the same opportunity, we'd be building a country where everyone could thrive. Not just a select few, but instead, what do we have? A bunch of politicians who are more interested in enriching themselves than in fixing the mess they've created. They've completely hijacked the system, starting from the party level, and by the time they get into office, they've already made deals and leave the rest of us out in cold. And what about Ojoku, my people? He hit the nail on the head when he said these politicians have explained the torture of government. Our local governments are powerless, reduced to begging for scrap, while the leaders keep to flatten their pocket. They are driving the latest cars, wearing designers' clothes, and living in a mansion, all paid by the same people they are supposed to serve. It's a disgrace. We are out there struggling to make ends meet while they are living it up. Families can't afford to put food on the table. Children are out of school and the youth are losing hope. But to these leaders, do they care? Of course not. They are too busy enjoying their extravagant lifestyle to even notice the suffering of the people they are supposed to be serving. It's time we stop being silent. How much can we take? How much long will it allow this politician to destroy our future? They live in luxury, my people. We need to stand up and demand better. We need to call out this injustice of what it is, a gross betrayal of the trust we place in them. So let's keep talking, let's keep sharing, let's keep the pressure on. The leaders need to know that we see through their games and we don't stand for it any longer. The power of the people is stronger than those in power, and together we can bring about the change we desperately need. Until then, my people watching us for the very first time, kindly like, comment, and share this video to help us get more recommendations. And don't forget to click on the notification icon so you'll be notified as soon as our next video drops. Thank you.